ready?
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Ready's however be, brother.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll try not to throw any crazy loops or anything.
Okay, here we go. My name is Paula Brown with the Crawford County Historical Society, headquartered in Meadville, Pennsylvania. Today, Monday, August 17th, 2026, I am privileged to be speaking with Betty Foote-Beers-L'Huillier and her eldest great-grandson, Tyler Cauvel. It's a very special day that we have. Tyler is going to interview his great-grandmother, and so we are going to be privileged to listen in.
Well, thank you for having us, and I think that it'll be a fun experience. We'll see if Grandma knows all these questions. All right, do you want to begin? All right, let's go for it.
Let's ask you, when and where were you born?
I was born in my grandmother's house. She lived next door in Warren County. And it would have been a Titusville RD because we were out in the country.
So, what date and what year were you born, Grandma?
I was born December 30th, 1929.
1929. Now, at the time in Warren, where exactly was this house? I'm just curious.
It was on a dirt road in the country.
In the country.
It was Mount Hope Road, I think they called it.
Okay. Were you the eldest in your family?
No, I was the youngest.
So say I thought you were the baby.
I was the baby.
Awesome. Now, can you tell us about your parents?
Well, my dad was William Harrison Drake.
Mm-hmm.
And
What was he like? I never met him.
he was tall and he was quite large,
Mm-hmm.
but not real large.
Mm-hmm.
And him and I got along real well.
Mm-hmm.
And we were close.
Mm-hmm.
And he worked when I was growing up, for an oil company.
Mm-hmm. Because you lived on an oil lease, correct?
Yeah.
That's cool. And what about your mother?
And my mother was from a family of 12.
Oh my goodness.
Her name was Keitlinger before she was married.
And her first name was Lena, correct?
Yes. And she had quite a few brothers and sisters.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them I knew more than I did the others.
Mm-hmm. I think the most fascinating part that I have to highlight, because I think is really cool, is that your parents, William and Lena, so William was born in 1889, so your parents were born in the 1800s.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, I do, and I know that it was really interesting that when I was doing some genealogy to find out, some of the ages and the years that we're talking about. So, being that you are 96, correct? 96 on the way to
96 and a half.
96 and a half. That half becomes more important the closer you get to 100, I've decided. And Lena was born in 1891. So I did some math and looked it up. I believe your mother was 36 when she had you. So you're the baby, correct?
I am.
Okay, so that in today's terms just kind of seems kind of crazy. Like, oh, she was 31 years old. Now, did you ever meet your grandparents? No, never met your grandparents or great-grandparents?
I think they were all gone before I was born. But anyway, either that or I was too young and I don't remember.
Well, I was looking this up after you said you had met them and was surprised to find out that your grandparents, so your grandparents on the Drake side, so there was Zachariah and there was Sarah, both born in the so Zachariah was 1848 and Sarah was 1860. Both of which, one of them, Zachariah lived until 1919, so very close to when you were born, but not quite long enough. And then the Keitlinger side, Abraham and Lavoia. Is it Lavoia? Leola. And it says they were born in the 1840s as well. And then when I looked it up, your great-grandparents, one of which was born in the 1700s, which is completely wild. And I believe your grandmother had your mother in her late 40s, like it was 46. So kind of unusual that you were the youngest, and I think your mother was the youngest, making these generation gaps really big. So can you tell us about your siblings?
My brothers and sisters.
Yeah, so tell me, how many do you have and what are their names?
Well, Lloyd Drake, Lloyd Arnold Drake was the oldest.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was Alan
Mm-hmm.
Drake. He was next. And
Gladys, right?
and then there was Edith.
Oh,
Oh, Edith was the oldest.
Okay.
Edith was the oldest. Or was I
Now, I don't know. I didn't write those
confused
down.
right now whether she was the oldest or Lloyd was the oldest. But anyway, they were older than I.
Mm-hmm. So I have Lloyd, Edith, Alan, Gladys, and then you did have a brother that died very young, right? And what was his name?
Robert.
Robert. And was he older than you? Younger? I'm trying to remember.
He
what you
was
said.
6 months old when he died.
6 months old. Was
He had a telescope bow, and at that time they evidently didn't know what to do for him.
Was he older than you? Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Was he in between you and your next sibling?
He
think.
was between me and Gladys.
Okay.
Yes.
That's what I thought.
Because Gladys was 10 years older than I was.
Okay. I was gonna say about that, since you did have these siblings, but you're the baby. So growing up, it says, tell us a little bit about your childhood home. Were you the only one that was still living at home at the time when you were growing up?
Well, my sister Gladys was home,
Okay.
and I think Alan was home too.
Mm-hmm.
But they were going to high school, and they were driving to high school
Right.
in town.
That makes sense. Tell us about the amenities of your house. What was it like growing up? Did you have water? Did you have electricity? Did you have... So how did it work? So, okay, at what point did you end up getting running water of some sort? Or at least a well pump or something like that?
As long as you don't know I want to know the year, because
I wouldn't expect a year. But like when you were in elementary school, like when?
Yeah, I think I was in elementary school. Just beginning, though.
So
I hadn't been there very long.
Was there a point where you had no, like...
We had
well?
to haul our water. I remember we had an old hoopie, and we'd take this old hoopie and some big drums and go out into the woods to this spring
Okay.
and get the water.
That's crazy. So did you have a large storage tank for your water?
Yeah, and then we had storage tanks beside the house that we got rainwater in, and Mom washed with that. Because even after they drilled us a well, it was rusty.
I was going to say probably iron rich.
And she said, I can't use that to wash clothes. So she
Now-
used the rainwater.
When they drilled that well, you still had to go outside and use the hand pump?
Yeah.
Okay. So at what point did you ever have running water inside your house as a child?
Not till we moved to Pineville.
Okay.
And I was in 8th grade. Or I was going into 8th grade when we moved over there.
So what was it like then if one wanted to clean up? What would you do? So you don't have running water in the home. You don't have necessarily a well pump. You do have water. How did you go about, let's say, getting a bath or cleaning up?
Well, every Saturday night we took a bath. And we had a big wash tub.
Mm-hmm.
And Mom filled it with water and we took a bath.
And how did they heat the water?
On the stove.
So the stove water, so would you just heat up a small pot of water to probably a really high temperature and then add it to like lukewarm water? Now, I've always heard stories, maybe not about you specifically, but that there was like a sequence of bathing the family. Did you guys do that where like multiple
I
people would
think
use
we
the
did.
same bath water? They go
Of
eldest
course,
to
I was
youngest?
the only one home then.
Oh, I guess, yeah, then you're not sharing as much.
No.
But in between bath time, so would you just use like a wash basin?
Yeah.
It's really interesting. Now, what about electricity?
We didn't have electricity. We had gas lights.
Okay.
And for a long time. And then when I was, probably 10 or 11, my brother got the job next door running a plant.
Okay.
and they decided to run DC electric over from that plant.
Mm-hmm.
And they run it over, and it would get really bright sometimes. Till they could almost, break the bulbs.
Yeah.
But it was good.
Yeah.
And then later on, I don't know how old I was, I can't remember, but they put electric down through the REA.
That's awesome. It's really interesting because I feel like a lot of people assume that, if anybody listening or watching would be, used to old homes, like the homes that I live in, both that they had gas plumbing in the wall for these gas lights. So you actually had to physically go over, turn on a little gas fixture and light the mantle.
Yeah, and we had to buy mantles for them.
Yep.
And these mantles weren't very heavy and they didn't last long.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm always curious because I never lived in an era with gas lighting. What would you say, is the lighting as bright when you have gas lighting? Was it?
No.
I was going to say, I feel like it'd be very dim and hard to study by or to read by or to work in.
We evidently did read by it because my dad, he liked Westerns. Mm-hmm. He liked to read Westerns.
Mm-hmm. Now, as a
my
kid...
My mother, she read everything.
That's what I was just going to say. So as a kid, for entertainment, what were the things that you primarily would partake in for entertainment? So reading.
And we listened to radio. We had a radio.
Okay, you did have a radio at that point. Did you ever...
A mix.
Did you ever have a Victrola?
Yeah.
Did you?
And we had records.
Okay, and records?
Yeah.
Interesting. Did you ever own an Edison machine, like with the little cylinders like I have?
No.
Okay, so you just had...
It was just around...
Yeah, probably a Victor, because I think it was really trendy at that point in time. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to know about your home before we move on. Oh, plumbing! Did you have an outhouse?
Yeah.
Okay, so what was that like? I'm just curious, as a kid, in the middle of the night you have to go to the bathroom.
Well, we kept a pot in the...
I wondered about that.
In the house to go to the bathroom in the night.
So in the dead of winter, if you need to go to the bathroom, I guess you're going to either use the pot or you got to brave to go outside.
Yeah.
And at that point in time, did people usually use toilet paper, or were there times and desperate measures?
Sears catalog.
Sears catalog. Say, I've heard that story before. I thought the Sears catalog. So I wondered about that. Well,
that wasn't very good.
I would think. I can't imagine because I've touched like those pages and I feel like those pages the ink comes off. So I feel like, well, maybe you wouldn't notice because the poor lighting and the weekly baths. But I'm now curious about education. So what was it like when you attended school? And where did you attend school?
Well, I had to walk for a mile to Hunter School, and it was just a country school with 8 grades.
8 grades. All being taught in one classroom with one teacher?
Yes, that's the way it was.
Mm-hmm.
And the teacher, I don't know whether she come from Titusville or where she come from, but she drove, and if she could drive to the school, she drove, but if the roads were so bad she couldn't get there, she walked.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Well, and at that point in time, did your school have water or... And did it have
We
electric?
had to walk to the house next door to get water.
Oh my gosh.
Till they drilled a well.
Now, did you have lighting inside of your schoolroom?
Mm.
So did you use lanterns, kerosene lights? What were you guys using for light? Like, that's a good question.
Did you have windows? A lot of windows in it?
Well, yeah, it had windows, but not. I wouldn't say anything extra.
Mm-hmm.
But there was windows down each side.
Mm-hmm. I've read a lot about early teachers being responsible for stoking the fire, bringing the water, lighting, filling inkwells. Did you guys use inkwells still?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I can't imagine today's kids. They need pencils every 2 seconds, so I can't imagine, like, my inkwell's empty. That's so crazy to me.
And the pens aren't easy to write with.
No. And at that point, I mean, handwriting was very important. I have actually an 1880s encyclopedia that talks about the importance of handwriting. And you have beautiful handwriting, and Grandma, my grandmother, her eldest daughter, also has beautiful handwriting. And I think it's because you had to be good at it. I feel like it was valuable.
Well, our teacher, she read at noon, she'd give us penmanship papers.
Yeah.
And we'd write all the time
Mm-hmm.
while she was reading.
Nice.
And
Now, eventually, when you left the one-room schoolhouse, you ended up going to Colstock, correct?
I never went to.
Oh, see, I thought you did.
No,
Never.
I went to Titusville.
Oh, see, I thought this whole time you were one of the
See,
first
we
classes.
moved to Pineville, and that was over in towards Titusville.
Mm-hmm.
And I rode a bus out to the Blacktop
Mm-hmm.
and to McGraw School.
Okay.
And that's where I did my 8th grade.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had to go to Titusville
Okay.
to take my 8th grade test.
Okay.
And that's where I passed. And then the next fall I went there to high school.
Okay. And I did find out her one-room schoolhouse does still exist. It's still a usable, functional camp, I believe now, and it still does exist. So what is the highest grade level you went to?
10th.
So 10th grade.
I was in the middle of the 10th grade when I quit.
Mm-hmm.
I got tired of riding in bus from Grand Valley to Youngsville every day.
How long of a trip was that?
I don't know how many miles it was, but it seemed like long.
Yeah.
And we had to leave early in the morning.
Right.
Well, and at this point in time, it was probably fairly common. Was it very common, at least from your perspective, that a lot of your classmates would either leave to join the workforce or go to the military or get married?
I don't know if they went to the military so much then because we didn't have a war.
Okay. That
But
makes sense.
I don't know.
Well, I guess before we leave childhood, I'm just curious, is there any memory or something that you would think of as like your fondest childhood memory? I'm just kind of curious.
Yeah.
I know you talked to me once about getting a bike, and you thought that was one of the things that stood out. Was
Oh
that you
yeah,
got a bike.
I had a brand new bike. My dad bought me this, and mother too bought me this brand new bike. And I used to ride over from where we lived. It was way over a mile over to the to the cement route, going to to Grand Valley
Yeah.
or Youngsville or is that 8?
Not sure, actually.
Anyway, I'd ride over there and see Lena Drake.
Okay.
And she stayed with her grandmother, and her grandmother couldn't see very well, so she stayed with her. And she was about my age, and we would visit. Then there was a couple of Lindquist girls that lived close by, and they took piano lessons, and I used to go and listen to them play or practice them.
Huh. That's interesting. I also remember Grandma Brown had told me that she learned to ride bike on the same bike that you learned to ride bike on,
Yeah, she did.
which is kind of
I
funny.
had it a long time.
Yeah, well, and actually it was fairly new because I did the math, and we decided the bike would only be about 10 years old because you didn't get it until you were, I don't know, when you were, was it
Yeah,
under 10-ish?
Oh, I was probably older, maybe 12 or
12 or
13.
so, and then you would have had Grandma by around 17, 18, 17, somewhere in there. So yeah, the bike really was fairly new, so I mean it had plenty of time for more miles. So this then leads us to a little bit like mid-childhood. So tell us about how you met your first husband, Robert. Where did you first see him?
Well, I was down to, I went with my girlfriend, Betty Gilson,
Okay.
and she lived up on Gilson Ridge.
Mm-hmm.
And we decided to go down to see her sister. She lived on the road from Highttown to Fosbury.
Okay.
And we decided to go see her, so we went. And while we was there, Bob and his dad came to cut some grass for hay
Mm-hmm.
while we were there.
Mm-hmm.
And while we went out to take him some water or something to drink, and she introduced me to him.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my first interview.
Mm-hmm. And that was around like 12-ish?
Well, I don't remember. Probably,
Pretty young.
yeah.
Yeah. Pretty young, I was going to
Pretty
say.
young. So, what was your first impression of him?
I don't know that I.
You didn't have a first impression?
No. Okay.
That's funny. Well, you did tell me that he was working in a field, right? So maybe it was, I don't know, maybe
Yeah.
you're impressed by his strength. And he was just a little bit older. Was he 3, 4
It
years?
was just, we were just acquainted. And
Right.
We got acquainted.
Right, exactly. Now, how did he end up in the war? So I know that, Robert or Bob was eventually, in the military, whether he wanted to be or not. Tell me how he ended up there.
Well, when he was 18 years old, he had to go and register.
Mm-hmm.
They all did.
For the draft.
And it wasn't too long after he got registered that they called him, had him go for not a checkup,
Maybe like a physical, probably.
a physical.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to think
Mm-hmm.
of. And he passed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then it was, I think, June that they called him.
Yeah, so he passed the physical and then he got drafted.
Yeah.
And at this point, you're not married.
No.
He would only be probably, 17, 18, I don't even know if he, oh no, maybe a little older. What would he have been when he was drafted?
Well, he had to be over 18.
Oh, that's right, he had to be 18 to be drafted, well,
For the registry.
to be formally drafted. I feel like there was a couple that slipped through a little bit younger, but yeah, so he had to be at least
just
18.
because he had just turned 18 in January.
Mm-hmm. And then tell me, so how did that, I guess, end up for Robert? So what was his military experience like? What happened to him?
Well, he enjoyed, he can
Enjoyed it to a point.
Yeah. He gained some weight. He looked real good when he come home.
Mm-hmm. Well, what happened to him while he was a...
But then in the fall, when he went back after his first,
Probably his first enlistment or first round of...
why they told him that, or he was going overseas.
Okay, you're right.
So he had to go overseas, and they took him to Normandy or up along the river there.
Yeah.
And there'd been a bunch of young fellows there where they took him, but they'd been there quite a while, so
Right.
they must have thought they needed to take them out and put somebody else in.
Right.
Well, they put them in, and they weren't really experienced
Right.
enough. And the Germans came and captured him and took him to prison.
Yeah, so he did become a prisoner of war.
Yeah.
The one thing that I have on here that I've actually never asked you about is, how did you find out he was a prisoner of war?
They called his mother.
But they did call his mother. I want to say that Grandma once told me something about them sending home his tags. Did they send home his tags prior to you finding that out? Or maybe I misheard her at some point.
I don't think they sent his tags.
You don't think they sent his tags? So maybe they didn't. I was thinking at some point.
I don't remember him ever sending his tags.
Was there ever a point in time where there was like an ambiguity of whether he was a prisoner of war or he had been killed? Or did you know that he was a prisoner
Well,
of
we
war?
didn't know for a while.
That's what I thought. So that's crazy, crazy,
Yes,
crazy.
it was.
So when he finally did arrive back from the war, you then got married. Tell me about your wedding day, and tell me about, well, how old were you? I don't even know.
I was 16, almost 17.
Like 16, almost 17. And so tell me about, where did you get married, and what was your wedding day like?
What was my wedding day? Well, I got married at my sister's house.
Okay.
No big deals like they have nowadays.
Right. And this is the house that still stands, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
It's out by Uncle George's?
Yeah.
Okay, so that is in, what do you call that area? I don't know what you call it. It's Titusville.
Chelmadine.
Okay. And this big old house still stands. You got married there, and I remember Grandma saying that your father had a hard time letting you go because you were so young.
Yeah, he had tears in his eyes when he was walking me down the,
Did
there
you-
was a space to be where we had to walk to get to where we was
Yeah.
getting married.
I've always heard that it had a very large living room in that house.
Yeah.
Which accommodated a lot of people. I was thinking you walked downstairs. Did you not walk downstairs?
It was 2 living rooms, and there was a big door between it.
Okay, that makes sense. That's awesome. That is really cool.
Yeah, that house, it was a good sized house.
Now, once you got married, okay, we're still talking. So, what year did you get married? Kind of set the scene.
1946.
So, 46 is when you got married.
February 3rd.
February 3rd. And so, you and Robert, or Bob, decided to move to Grand Valley, correct? Is that where you were at?
No.
Where'd you go first?
We lived with his mother and dad.
Oh, see, I've missed this whole stage. So,
His dad gave him the land across the road from their house.
okay,
And we was going to build a house there.
okay.
But we didn't do that right away because, we looked for a place downtown to live, but
Okay.
we couldn't find any apartments. And they were either dirty or we just didn't like them.
Mm-hmm.
So then we went and stayed with his mother and dad, and he gave us that land. And
You decided to build a house.
yeah,
Now, did he...
he worked for his uncle, and they had a sawmill.
Okay, so he was working at the sawmill, which makes sense. So is that where he got all the lumber to build the house? Now, did he build the house on his own?
Yeah.
Okay, so, and then this is the house that you lived in for years, correct? So tell me about when it was first constructed. So what was it like?
Well, we had 3 rooms,
Mm-hmm.
a bedroom, a kitchen, and a living room.
Mm-hmm.
And we had another porch, we called it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But when we started having kids, the house started to grow.
Yes, as I said, the house had to grow with the family. Now, did you have running water at your house?
Not when we first built it,
So where did you get water?
across the road from his mother and dad.
So you had to actually go across the street to get your water.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
And big milk cans.
And milk cans. So when eventually did you get running water at your house?
Well, we lived there for, I don't know if we lived there more than 2 years or not. I can't remember.
Okay, so probably 2 years into it. So when your kids were young, you didn't have running water at the house?
No. And my husband, he didn't like to go in debt.
Mm-hmm.
He said, as we have money, we'll get it.
Yeah.
So that's when we had the money. Why, we had a man come and drill the well.
Mm-hmm. And no indoor plumbing also? So did you have an outhouse?
Yeah.
Yep, so you still had an outhouse, but you did have electricity, correct?
Yeah, we did have
Okay, so you had electricity at that house.
Yeah.
So, tell me about your children. How many children did you have?
4.
4 children. So what are their names?
Patricia Ann,
Mm-hmm.
Thomas Allen,
Mm-hmm.
Robert David,
Mm-hmm.
and Rebecca Sue.
I think you just told me something I've never been aware of in my life. Robert David? So Dave's first name is Robert.
They didn't want to go by Robert, so
Never, ever known that in my entire life.
Well, I went to school one day. It was the teachers. You had to go and see the teachers, and I was looking for his paper, whatever it was that he had. And she said, "Well, I can't find any David. There's a Robert here." I said, "Well, that's him."
Well, that's interesting then. So, but Robert, okay, so Dave was your second son, correct? Because Tom was older. So you named your second son after your husband. That's kind of interesting. So was he not considered the second then? So was he Robert the second? Robert Foote the second? No, it's just Robert Dave Foote. Interesting. I never knew that. So now,
Well, see, you learned something.
I did learn something. I didn't even know that, and that seems like something like more mundane that I should have known. So they all grew up in that same home, which you lived in up until what point? Because I was going to say, when did you move here? Was that 2000 and...
1999.
It was 99. It's the same year that we purchased the rink. I was going to say, because that was with Ralph, correct?
Yeah.
So Ralph Beers.
He moved in with me up there after we were married.
Okay, that's what I thought.
And he was sitting around one day and he said, let's go look at a house, or some houses, he said.
Yeah.
I said, okay. Because I wasn't really comfortable with that house, especially alone.
Yes.
Of
And it's
course,
in the
I
middle of
was
nowhere.
alone after I married him, but
Right.
I just was not comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
So that was all right with me.
Mm-hmm.
And so we went and we went down by Woodlawn, and the bathroom was way upstairs, and we didn't like it. So the guy said, well, I got one in Pleasantville. He said, if you want to look at it. So we come over here to Pleasantville, drove in the driveway, and Ralph looked at the garage, and he said, oh, he said, my dad and I built that garage.
I knew it.
Wow, right.
And he said, we never built another one with round corners.
So funny.
Yeah.
And so he bought the house. And I told him, I said, when I sell my house, I will give you half of what you paid for.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you don't have to do that. I said, yes, I do. So when I sold mine, I paid him half of this.
That's awesome. That's cute. I didn't know that part of the story. Now, I guess for anybody that doesn't know, so Ralph was your second husband, correct?
Yeah.
Okay,
And
exactly.
I met him at Burger King.
Met him at Burger King.
Really?
And you were married how many years?
Uh,
I'm trying to think, because you would have got married, was it around 2000?
6 or 7.
I was going to say, before he passed away.
Yeah.
And then I
He
guess...
had COPD when I married him, and he was 80 and I was 70. 70.
Something like that, yeah. Well, and I guess we skipped over. So, tell me about how old did your first husband live to, and when did he pass away?
He died in February 1982.
Okay, 82 is say it's before I wasn't born
And
until
he was
87.
56 years old.
56 years old. Now,
Too young.
what actually caused him to die so young?
Well, they said that they thought probably some of it was caused from his time in the service in the prison camp. But he had a cold and pneumonia, and then Dr. Dahle checked his head, and he thought he had a touch of cancer.
Right. I thought that's what it was. Well, now that we're getting towards, I guess, some of these more, I guess, I'm going to say current questions, what are some of your hobbies? What are some of the things that you do to keep yourself busy now?
Well, I've crocheted,
You crochet a lot.
and I embroidered pillowcases,
Needlepoint.
and I read a lot, and I watch TV,
Play some dominoes.
and I play dominoes once a week, every 2 weeks. Tomorrow. This is Monday.
It's Monday, yeah.
Well, Wednesday I play dominoes in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Go to up here at the restaurant and have lunch. Me and the ladies, and then we go down to Sheila's and play dominoes all afternoon.
And you and Grandma get your hair done once a week, so you go on those outings.
And I go on Fridays and get my hair done.
And you meet with your friends at McDonald's regularly, and
On Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sunday morning.
see, I didn't know it was a schedule. I just thought it was random, but no, you have a schedule.
Oh yeah.
And she still drives, and she's still independent, and she is sharp. She does some of the nicest needlework I've ever seen, and you don't wear glasses.
No, there's some of it over there.
Wow.
Yeah, I was gonna say she does very fine needlepoint and no glasses whatsoever. And
Oh no,
do you do cheaters?
I wear my cheaters.
I was gonna say, but no actual prescription glasses. So I'm really impressed with that. And you had cataract surgery, right?
Yeah.
But besides that, no, she's always had great eyesight, and you've made blankets for what, every grandkid, great grandkid?
Yeah, I haven't made any for a while. I got a whole bag of.
A lot of blankets and a lot of time. So I'm curious, since we're talking about some of those things, are there any inventions or things that you feel like you've experienced in your life that have really amazed you?
Oh, but the microwave.
I knew the microwave.
My first husband, he was just so amazed at that. He just couldn't get over the microwave.
I think the microwave was revolutionary, and at that time they were the size of, oh my gosh, they were huge and heavy, and you had a microwave stand, and God forbid it falls off, it could kill a child.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was heavy.
They were very heavy. But I mean, we went from a point where you could cook food in a couple minutes, so I think that seems revolutionary.
Yeah, he'd say, "Oh, make some brownies." Show me how it works.
Grandma told me that, and I remember that when microwaves first came out, they had these sets of equipment to allow you to bake and make anything you ever wanted inside of them, which is really cool. I feel like people kind of underutilize them now, but I don't know. I think people use microwaves a lot, but maybe not for all the extensive purposes they used to. I'm curious for family members that might listen to this. Is there any family stories or anything that you can think of that you wouldn't want to be forgotten? Is there anything that ever happened, or a story, or a memory, or anything that you feel like needs to be passed down or people should know about? And it could be anything. It could be something about your child. It could be something about your marriage. It could be something about maybe growing up during World War II. It could be anything like that. I'm just curious if there's anything like that that stands out.
I really can't.
Nothing stands out. I was just something that came to my mind that I was thinking like, I don't know what I would
The
say
war,
to that, but
was bad.
Mhm.
I mean,
it was probably something where like
it
what
affected everybody.
Yeah, I would say what was it like? Because I've heard about rationing of foods. I've heard about getting.
Oh yeah, we had coupons. Well, I don't have it out here.
Yeah.
But I got a thing the other day with a coupon book and showing me how. But we had to have a coupon to get sugar, to get soap, and a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm. And maybe that people today should realize how easy they have it.
Yeah.
And that, during those times, people were very short on money, they were short on food, they were short on everything. And, I think it's something that this generation...
Yeah, we made
experience.
cakes out of
You get resourceful.
a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I know that people got very thrifty and got very smart. Grandma always jokes about this. Is this true? That you would actually use feed sacks to make clothing out of them?
Oh, yeah.
That's so funny to me.
Yeah, my dad, he would go and get... My mother always had chickens.
Mm-hmm.
And he would go and get feed for them. And at that time, they had bags that was material that you could use for a dress or apron or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he would pick out something pretty and bring it home. And if she didn't make something, sometimes I would.
Mm-hmm.
My little girls had, or Becky especially, had quite a few.
Mm-hmm.
Because she was the last one.
Is there anything that you miss about how life used to be when you were young? Because I feel like nowadays people have phones, they have internet, everything is instant, everybody is, rushing and doing things very quickly. Is there anything that you think that you miss about maybe when life was simpler? Or do you like, maybe you like technology? Do you think that it's better now in many ways?
I wouldn't say so.
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of people always say that, we have a lot more amenities and modern conveniences, but a lot of people say that they miss the simpler life and the simpler things.
And I think the kids do.
Mm-hmm.
Like the kids nowadays, they don't play.
No.
They don't talk.
Mm-hmm.
Now my kids would come home from school and go out in the yard and play, and the neighbors would all come and they'd have a ball game in the yard right next to my house.
Yeah.
Even the bigger guys, they'd come and play.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think that they don't do that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
No.
And if they come to your house, they have a phone, and they have that in front of them. Becky sat there, Steve sat here, I sat there, and I don't have a phone.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, they miss a lot.
Mm-hmm. I do too. I think it's the being present in the moment is absent, and I think it's weird now because as a business owner and watching people experience birthday parties and special events, there was a point in time where even when like video cameras and even cameras, just regular cameras, were there and were available, people used to record and watch their kids and experience these happy moments, and they record them, take pictures, and whatever. We've actually got kind of past that, where I've now noticed that a lot of parents are not present at all, and during things like social gatherings or birthday parties, they don't even take pictures or video of their kids. They're usually distracted, maybe going through social media, and they're kind of missing what's happening right in front of their face.
Yeah, and
so
there's a lot of broken marriages.
Yes, and I think
the
that
kids have a couple fathers, a couple mothers. Yeah.
And that was unheard of when you were a kid. When was the first time you met somebody who was divorced? Like adulthood? Or even later? Because as a young person, even being only 39, I didn't have many friends that had parents divorced. But by my sister's grade level, just 3 years behind, there was quite a few.
I really don't remember.
As I say, I feel like it wasn't common.
No.
So not common at all.
I had an aunt that was...
An aunt that was divorced? Was that scandalous, right?
Yeah. But I liked her.
Yeah.
She was lots of fun.
Yes. But if one was divorced when you were younger, would society see that as like something that was deemed kind of bad? Would they kind of look down upon, or do you think it was like...
Well...
I always thought that was kind of the way that like an unspoken norm was, that people were kind of like...
I think they might have, yeah.
So...
Like my aunt that I liked so well, and Mary, some of them didn't have the best things to say.
Did she remarry?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, because I was always curious of that at the time, if one was divorced, if it made them maybe less desirable to remarry, or if people were maybe not as interested.
Oh, yeah, she remarried.
So I guess to wrap this up here, I'm just curious, what do you think your secret is to staying so sharp and living such a long life?
Well, I love the Lord.
Okay, I think that's very important.
And I've been a Christian for a good many years.
Mm-hmm.
And we worked at the church, my first husband and I, and that makes me feel sad now when I go up there and see it sitting empty and nobody running it.
Mm-hmm.
But I just am not able anymore to do it.
Right.
Where years ago when we first moved up there, my mother-in-law and some of the older ladies up there, they kept the church going till we got around and got there and helped them run it.
Well, my last question, I guess, then, is there any advice you give to young people that you would, like to pass down to them to maybe help them live a long, healthy life?
Well, mind your parents.
Mm-hmm.
Pay attention to your parents. And go to church.
Mm-hmm.
And love the Lord.
Mm-hmm. And be present, I think, is a big thing, too. I think be present in your life. Well, thank you very much, Grandma. And I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us.
Yes, thank you both so much. We really appreciate you sharing your story.